Hi, my name is SaiqaKhan, and I am a mother, wife, and surgeon. In this video, I want to discuss epigenetics and the effect of epigenetics on development. Epigenetics is defined as the regulation of gene expression. Bruce Lipton is an expert in epigenetics, so if you're interested to learn more detailed information, I would recommend looking up his information and what he teaches. What really drew my attention more to epigenetics is seeing the results, the positive results of certain factors in my child's development, in Remy's development. So as you know, Remy has a rare genetic syndrome, which is associated with developmental delay. And we have identified certain things that have actually really helped her in her development. And there is definitely a correlation with epigenetics, in my opinion. There was even a paper that was published in February of this year specifically on the impact of epigenetics on the development for children with Mowat-Wilson syndrome. So along those lines, I thought I would just share what factors and what things we have found to be very helpful for Remy. And the main umbrella, the main thread that is consistent throughout all of these factors is generating a safe and secure environment where Remy can switch from a sympathetic tone or a heightened sense of awareness, like fight or flight, with a high sympathetic tone, where she could switch from the sympathetic drive to more of a parasympathetic state where she can relax, learn, and have trial and errors, try new things. And if she falls, if she fails, she is in a relaxed state enough where she has no problem trying again, as opposed to being in more of a sympathetic tone or a sympathetic drive where there's more of a fight or flight and a resistance to pushing out of the comfort zone, a resistance to trying. So the things we've noticed that are very beneficial for her is a routine, which creates predictability. So helping her with her sleep, helping provide very similar activities throughout the day and repeating that day after day after day, so that she has a predictable schedule. We noticed that she doesn't like disruptions in her routine. She doesn't like it when her primary caregivers are not around for a prolonged period of time. She starts to wonder what's going on, why the change. So that's a big factor, is the routine and the predictability. Second is her pool time. So basically time in the water. Time in the water for Remy has been the number one factor, I would say, in her development. And I think it's because it gives her a sense of freedom. The water supports her enough where she can splash, she can play, she can practice her walking, she can move her arms around, and she can feel the fluidity of the water, and somehow that translates into her feeling more calm and her having more autonomy and agency in the control of her movements and in the efficiency of her movements, and also in the support. She feels supported. And so we do aquatic therapy with an aquatic therapist who is excellent. And we also give her more time in the water during bath time, in the bathtub, for example. But definitely getting her in the pool and getting her in the water more, I think, is the number one important factor for her development, besides a loving, nurturing environment. So that's another critical component with epigenetics. And what we have found with Remy is providing a very loving, nurturing environment with consistent caregivers is critical. A calm space. The other factor that goes into that is music. So music is very impactful for Remy. It can calm her down. It can get her excited when we sing the good morning song with her. It can signify different transitions in the day. So she'll know, okay, it's the morning. We're singing the good morning song. It's bath time. We're playing the bath time song. So we have certain songs and playlists for her so she can correlate and understand what time of day it is and what activities to expect based on the song and the music. So this goes back into the predictability, the routine, knowing what to expect in terms of her parasympathetic tone and epigenetics. And so sleep and the loving, nurturing environment, music, water, pool time, and practicing the same things over and over again. So repetition has been really helpful. And of course, a major factor is also diet and nutrition. So this is true for anyone. When you think about epigenetics, I'm focusing on the positive factors that positively influence epigenetics for Remy's development. And then you can also think about what are the negative factors that negatively influence epigenetics. So for anyone who has a poor diet, poor nutrition, poor sleep, a lot of stress, lack of predictability, these are factors that negatively impact epigenetics. So for Remy, having protein, enough calories, a variety of foods where she could practice her eating, practice her chewing, and identifying which ones she really likes. Like, we figured out that she really loves chocolate icing and cake, and chips, so giving her those different flavors to try, so the factor that I'm trying to point out right now is the importance of diet and nutrition when it comes to epigenetics. And really, what I'm trying to share is that these are many factors that we actually can have some kind of control over when it comes to curating the environment, curating and controlling the schedule as best we can, the routine, the diet, the nutrition, music, pool time, and different things that you identify for your child. Why does it all matter? Well, my suspicion was that these were the factors that if we focus on, it can help Remy with her development and help her develop her walking more, her speaking communication more. And this paper that came out in February showed exactly that. For Mowat-Wilson syndrome, there is such a wide spectrum where some kids might take 20 years to walk, but some kids might take 5 years to walk. And, there's no judgment from me. I don't think, it doesn't matter if you learn how to walk, if you don't learn how to walk, if you take 20 years or take 5 years, so be it. But the reason why I even care about this topic is because I want to give Remy the best opportunities, so that if she's going to take 20 years to walk, fine. If she's going to take 5 years to walk, fine. But at least if she is supported and has the opportunities and has the optimized environment for her to feel safe and secure and comfortable to push her boundaries, to get into a little bit of an uncomfortable zone in pushing herself, I think that is strength for her to develop that mental fortitude and to develop that confidence and self-esteem. I think that's really what is critical. And so this paper showed that the differentiating factor, what determines if a Mowat-Wilson child is going to walk in 20 years or 5 years, it comes down to epigenetics. So it's really touching on this realm that can be somewhat intangible, when you really think about the environment that you're trying to create, the conditions that you're trying to curate so that the child feels safe and secure in exploring. And for our other child, our son, who's neurotypical, what I notice with him is that it's simply the presence of somebody that he loves and trusts, the presence of a loving caregiver. That's truly all he needs when it comes to how he feels safe and secure in exploring and pushing his boundaries and trying new things. When he feels that sense of security from the loving presence of his caregiver, he feels the confidence and the self-esteem and the belief in himself. You know, he feels that, so that he can then push himself, try new things, fall. And, you know, if he does fall, you know, we talk to him about acknowledging, like, oh, that was surprising, wasn't it? Like, you fell, you weren't expecting to fall. That must have hurt, but you're okay. You know, you're all right now. And then, you know, he'll calm down and then he'll try again. And so with Remy, though, with, you know, the different factors that influence her sense of safety, she has a heightened sympathetic tone because she has to protect herself, because she doesn't have perfect vision. Her vision is somewhat impaired. And so she has to rely on her other senses to keep her safe, and she has to be a little bit more hypervigilant. So that's why her sympathetic tone is a little bit higher. And that's why we work to getting her to shift into her parasympathetic tone and creating the conditions and environment where she can do that. And so, long story short, epigenetics is a great thing to think about when it comes to development for your child. If your child happens to have special needs, or if your child is not neurotypical. And also, I would say, you know, there are a lot of parallels for epigenetics in relation to adults and our sense of well-being and our overall health and well-being, especially when it comes to trying to limit stress or limit how we react and respond to stress. Sleep, nutrition, relaxation. I think it's pretty much all the same stuff, just painted a little bit differently. But I do think it is something that can be, it's an opportunity, I think is the word I'm looking for. It's an opportunity, and that's how we see it when it comes to Remy and her development. Just having more of a concrete theory and understanding of how to better support her. So anyway, that's the end of this video. In the next subsequent videos, I'll be sharing more about medical devices and equipment that physically supports her, so that she can work on her development. So it's along the lines of support. And yeah, I think it's very interesting. So feel free to reach out with any questions, and I look forward to the next video. Thank you.